YouTubers, Rumblers, I guess, if you were that. I'm going to try and put this on Rumble as well as YouTube. And mostly weavers, wherever, whatever social platform you look at this on. I'm starting a new project. That's not a surprise because that's often where my videos start. I've already measured out the warp. It's on the back beam. It's threaded through the heddles. It is not yet slayed in the reed. And in this video, I want to try something new with slaying the reed. So this is something that I saw, I can't even remember if it was, I think it was in a Facebook group. I think it was the Louette Spring Weavers Facebook group, but don't quote me on that and don't go searching there because I don't remember if that's really where it was. Anyways, it's another method of slaying the reed that I've never tried before. So what I'm going to do is aim the camera down and just slay 2 or 3 threads through the reed the way I normally do it, just to give you a point of reference. Then I'm going to pull those 2 or 3 threads back out, reconfigure the reed in the way I saw in this video that I watched like a month ago, and I'm going to try that method and see what I think of it. I'm very used to the way, very comfortable with the way that I've been doing it since I got this loom 10 or 11 years ago. But that method looked like it might have some good options. And so I want to give it a try and see what I think of it. But first, let's move the camera just a little bit, aim it at the reed, which is right about there, and see how I've been doing it. So you and I have both got a point of reference. Okay, so normally what I do is I use this. Doesn't show up very decently on here, does it? We'll get a backing behind it. This slaying hook, it's basically like a little paring knife, but it's not sharp and it's got a little hook on the end of it. I use that to just reach through the reed and grab things. So let's grab the first thread, and I reach in back of the reed to the heddles, grab, come through, pull, and pull through. We'll do that again with the next thread. Go in the back, grab, and pull through. Let's zoom you in a little bit so you can see this a little better. So reaching back, can you see I'm reaching over? Then I put my little paring knife thing through the reed and pull through. And the beater bar is kind of locked in positions so it doesn't shift very much while I'm doing this. This is the method that I've been doing for ages. So now I've shown you what it is. I'm going to undo those couple, and I'm going to rearrange it and do it the new way and see what I'll think of it. Okay, I've zoomed the camera out so you're getting a different view, but I'm going to take the top off the beater bar. And just set this down for a second. We'll put it over against the wall. The reed is set up there. I'm going to take it out and lay it down flat like this, and I've taken a couple of C-clamps. The video I showed, the lady had it with a couple of spring clamps, but I think C-clamps will work just as well. And hold it in place with one at each end. like that. Okay, now I'm going to bring the camera a little closer so you can see where we're at, and we'll do the next bit. Okay, so you can see that the reed is now laying flat on the bottom half of the beater bar, and hopefully you can see this C-clamp is one of the two that's holding it. So one advantage I can see to this method now is I have an easier straight reach back to the heddles. So I'm going to grab the first thread, and instead of pulling from the front, I'm pulling from the bottom. I'm going to go up, grab, and pull down with my first thread. Grab my next thread, go up, grab, and pull down. Get out of there. It appears to be a little bit harder to find the opening, but once I get it, it is easier to pull the thread down and through. And it's certainly a lot easier to reach up and grab the next thread. So I'm going to keep trying it like this and see what I think of it. Now this particular project, I've got 8/4 cotton, so it's a fairly thick thread. For some people would call it thick at least. And I'm going to slay this at 12 ends per inch, or 1 end per dent in a 12 dent reed. It is quite easy to see which dents I haven't used yet. There we go. Now, I do want to kind of tie a temporary knot down here. That's a little putzier, but it works. Okay, I'm going to keep doing this for a while off camera, get a little bit more of this done, and I'll show you a little bit farther after I get farther along and give you an idea of what I think of it after I've used it a little bit farther. Okay, we're making good progress. I'm starting to like this method of slaying the reed. So I take a bout of 1 inch's worth, which are tied into little slip knots, as you can see in my hand here. And I untie those and move them over just a little bit this way. And the neat thing is I can even lay things right on the reed. That's kind of nice. An unexpected side benefit. Then I come through and pull down. And I don't know if it shows in the camera because of the angle, but there's the light that's up underneath, up there. Underneath the castle, where I've got those strip lights, those under counter lights that I installed years ago, and they reflect nicely right off the metal of the reed to make it just shine. And it makes it real easy to see what I'm doing. So this is turning out to be a relatively easy way of doing it. I think I'm going to have to use this method more often rather than the vertical method that I had been using on the reed. Now I just pull them out on there and tie a knot in them again so that they don't get pulled back out while I continue to work. Just giving you another angle on this, trying to show it from a couple different angles and closenesses of the lens. Okay, I've finished slaying the reed, and now it's time to turn it right side up and put the top on. So let's loosen the C-clamp and just set it on top of the loom. Loosen the other C-clamp. Set it on top of the loom. I'm just going to back that up just a little bit. Put this on. This might be the hardest part of it. There, done. Center that up just by feel. Tighten it up. I think that worked. Well, there we are, YouTubers and Rumblers. I forgot I was going to do this video, put it on both platforms. Anyways, I have slayed the reed, got it in place using this alternative method that I saw posted. Like I say, I think it was about a month ago, and I looked at a video and decided I'd try it. And if I could find that video, I'd tell you where it was, but I think the chances of my finding it again are slim to none. So anyways, you've seen, I think, how I did it this time, and I'm happy with this method. I may do this again. It worked out just fine this time around, and seems to be a little bit easier, because it was certainly easier to reach and find the threads that I'm working with. And the other thing is, because of the reflection of the under castle light, which I don't know if you can see right there. It's right underneath there, up where my fingers are pointing to. Underneath here is where the light is. So that light was reflecting off of the reed, which made it easier to see the dents in the reed. Whereas the way it is right this minute, after it's been put in place and using the older method, the part of the reed was in shadow and it was harder to see. So this was doubly easier. One, because I could reach the heddles a little bit easier, and two, because I could see the openings in the reed. So I'm actually very happy to have found this method, and my thanks to the lady whose video I saw, and I can't remember who she was, but this method worked great. So I'm happy with it. Anyways, that's it for this video, folks. When I get to actually weaving on this thing, I still got to tie it on to the front beam and all that, but when I get done, I will show you more. Until then, thumbs up. Bye-bye.